There we go. What's up, guys? How's it going? How is it going? Good to see you as always. Got off work a little bit early today. I'm going to relax tonight. But first, I wanted to hop on here and do my daily inspiration with myself and the universe and talk about whatever comes to mind. And today what came to mind is motivation versus inspiration. What's the difference? What's the correlation? What's the importance of both? And how do we manifest it? Was watching a interview with Brendon Burchard. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's an amazing human being. And they discussed motivation versus inspiration, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great topic. And so for me, like, inspiration is like, oh, you read something and you're like, oh, I'm inspired now. I'm inspired to do something, and I'm super excited about this thing. But it's pretty fleeting, right? Like, it's a very short, it doesn't last very long, that inspiration usually. But that's where motivation comes in. So motivation is like, do you do it? Do you do this thing every single day, day after day, to gain the results that you want? So real motivation is not a fleeting thing. Inspiration can be a fleeting thing. You can get inspired, and you can inspire yourself every day by watching whatever it is that you watch, or listening to whatever it is that you listen to, whether it be music or a podcast or interviews like I do, like I was watching today with Brendon Burchard on Gaia, or anything inspirational on TV. You know, that can inspire you, but the motivation is the real day after day stuff that we need to do in order to make these things happen that we want to happen. So it's the drive, it's the why, it's the reason for why you're doing what you're doing. That's the motivation. So here's the thing that a lot of people think, which I feel like we need to flip. I feel like we need to flip this thinking, and that's like the have. Like, do I have the motivation? You know? So this is the thing, like, people don't have anything, people create. So you don't have happiness, you create that happiness, and you don't have energy, you create energy. I mean, some people have a ton of energy, and like, to you, that's amazing, that if that's a natural thing. And like, for me, like, I have a ton of energy, but I create the energy, and I create the energy through feeding my body correctly, making sure I get enough rest, and taking time for myself, right? So you don't have energy, you don't have happiness, you create these things, and in essence, you also create motivation. So motivation isn't usually something that very many people just have. I think it's hard to get yourself to do the things every day that you need to do in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. It's easier to lay in bed than to get up and go to the gym or go to yoga. It's easier in the morning to sleep in. And it's easier to grab that cookie or that ice cream when you're really craving it. It's easier to do that. And that's more discipline, I think, but it's also motivation. Like, what results are you looking for? What actions are you taking every day in order to gain those results? It doesn't matter what it is, but that's where the motivation comes in, right? So the spark of motivation is the ambition and expectancy. The ambition and the expectancy kind of firing off together. The spark of motivation is that ambition, like, oh, what do I want? What is it over here that I want? What do I want? And that expectancy, oh, I can get this. I know that I can do this. Like, colliding and creating that spark, that's your motivation. So what do you want more of? What is it that you want? What is it that you want to change in your life or in the world? What do you want to inspire people to do? What is it you want more of? And how are you going to go about doing that, right? So, as Brendon Burchard was saying today, most people don't have real motivation because they don't believe that they can create that real motivation. Most people have hope, and most people hope that what they want and what they desire will come to fruition one day. But do you have the motivation to do what's needed to be done to get that taken care of? To manifest those things? What most people have is momentary inspiration and enthusiasm. Momentary inspiration and enthusiasm. But that's not motivation, because motivation is not fleeting. Motivation is a consistent thing. What are 3 small things that you do every day to get yourself to the place you want to be? 3 small, tiny things. Super small. I was speaking with my fiance, soon-to-be husband in 10 days, yesterday, regarding this, because he struggles a little bit with, where does all of this align? Where does my sobriety and my coding and what I'm doing right now and where does all of this align? Like, what is my purpose? And I don't think that anyone just wakes up one day and says, and it's like an aha moment, like, oh my God, this is my purpose. Rather, I feel like the universe gives you 1,000 whispers before you really hear what it is that you're meant to do. And if you just listen to those whispers, eventually it'll come to you. Right? So I always tell him, what's 3 things that you can do to manifest that purpose? So one of them for him, for example, is doing 2 coding problems a day. Just 2. I mean, it doesn't take him very long, 30 minutes, but just doing those 2 just so that he stays up on his studies. One of them for me is doing a live video every day. Hey, Ryan, what's up? How's it going, buddy? So for me, this live video every day, so it's hard. You guys, I'm so tired today. When I get done with this, I'm gonna probably crawl into my bed and find something delicious on TV to watch. But I told myself that I would be doing a video every day, and I told you that I would be showing up every day, so here I am. And so that's your daily method of operation that you need in order to make these things come to fruition, and that's your motivation. That's the motivation. Right, another thing that I did was I wrote down what I want my life to look like in 2 years, in paragraph form. I framed it, I put it on my wall, and I read that every single day before I leave the house. That inspires me. That inspires me to go out and do the things that I need to do to make this happen. If you don't know, guys, my end goal is to be able to hire someone like Tony Robbins to help teach me do what he does, because I love the idea of being an inspirational life coach. I love the idea of being a spiritual life coach. So that's what I'm working towards every day. That's why I come on here and share the things that I'm thinking with you guys. So how do we get motivation? Motivation comes along with momentum. So more motivation, more momentum. The more momentum, more motivation. It's like a hamster wheel, a really good hamster wheel. So when you have motivation and you get that momentum and you keep doing these small things every single day, you create more dopamine and serotonin in your mind, whether you think you do or not. You do. Because you're like, oh, that felt good. I got that shit done. I did what I said I was going to do. Like Ronnie, you said, always keep promises to yourself. Keep the promise to yourself. you create the serotonin and dopamine, and you create these neurotransmitters that are sitting there saying, this feels good, I'm going to keep doing this. So motivation and momentum go hand in hand, right? Which means you got to focus on the things that are important and get rid of the crap that doesn't matter. Get rid of the stuff that doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, what is it that's important to you? Are we going to sit there and worry about what somebody said that hurt our feelings? You know what I mean? Like, or are we going to focus our attention more on what the end result is? Over the long term, your attitude and your environment are two things that I think are critically important in making your dreams come true. So you choose to have a good attitude. You choose to have a good attitude. You choose to manifest in the environment that you need to go after those goals. So surround yourself with people who are like-minded, right? Surround yourself with people who will push you to do the things that you say you're going to do, and who will cheer you on and be in your corner and be your teammates and be your rock solid everything. And that's why I created my business. That's why I'm creating my business. And that's why I'm getting people to join me in this business so they can be my rock solid and so that I can be theirs. So that we can work together to make our dreams, whether they're together or separate, come to life. Right? So surround yourself with those people who motivate you, who get you on that momentum, who inspire you, who do those things for you. And eventually it'll happen, right? You guys, I also have a vision board. Do you want to see my vision board? This isn't something that I really had planned today, but I am so down to show you my vision board, right? So this vision board shows me the things that are important in my life. And I guess they are kind of necessarily my end goals because a lot of them have to do with spiritual wellness and health. But here, let me show you. We'll go. First of all, look at this. This is so cute. I can't. Are you comfy? Well, I'm glad you're comfy on my clothes, on my clean clothes at that. All right. So let's go take a look at the vision board. This is my very messy room. And here's my vision board. So when I walk out the door every day, I see I am enough, right? That's like the first thing I see. It's on the left-hand side right before I walk out that door. I've got pictures of mommies and daddies and babies because that's what I want. AA, Unity Service and Recovery, because that is extremely important in my life. This girl is looking in the mirror and connecting with herself. This guy says that when you come to a point where you have no need to impress anybody but yourself, really, your freedom will begin. I tell myself that my income is constantly increasing and that money flows easily into life. There's always more than enough because we struggle with finances. So I have to remind myself that it's okay, that I'm not the only one, right? I'm serene. I try to be serene. These feelings of happiness and serenity, they come naturally to me. I tell myself that. I tell myself not to wander from room to room hunting for that diamond necklace that's already around my neck. And that diamond necklace, I truly believe deep down is what I'm doing today with you guys, right? That guy's winning. I'm winning. She's aligned. I want to be aligned. And lastly, this is a serenity prayer that I tell myself every day. So yeah, that's it, guys. That is my vision board. And if you don't have a vision board, I really strongly suggest you go make one. This was fun. It took me like 2 hours maybe to find all this stuff online, print it out, and put it down. And I see it every day, and so it gives me that motivation I need every day, or I should say it gives me that inspiration to be motivated to do what I need to do. So thanks for checking in, guys. I really appreciate you. I really, really do. And if you have any questions for me, don't ever hesitate to ask. I'm just one DM away. All right, I love y'all. Toodles.